Maria Vanderhoff and the Brujah Brat. Agitated, Maria threw down her pencil on the desk. It bounced off and came clattering down on the marble floor. Recent developments in the city had made her prince duties nothing more than an annoyance. Requests for embraces, kindred of all ages vying for a cushioned spot in her organization. The Ventru prince had outsourced most of her obligations to underlings, but some things could, legally, only be handled by her. Like this application, a young woman requesting a prolonged stay in Amsterdam. Everything checked out. Her record and being in a long-standing, favorable position in the Camarilla. But there was a 5-year gap, suspiciously placed in the first years of her own embrace. The dates matched up so perfectly it couldn't be a coincidence. Not for the first time in these past few weeks, Maria was at a loss. She was going to have to confront this situation eventually, so she decided to face it head-on. Dialing a few numbers into the pad in front of her, she rang up the front desk of her tower. "Maria?" Laurie's sing-song voice chimed through the speakers. "Laurie, can you contact Miss Helena Ruys for me and schedule an appointment? I went through her application for residence, but some things aren't lining up. For tonight, please?" Maria was still arranging items on her desk when the doorbell chimed. She stood up, smoothed down her high-waist skirt, and sat herself down on the desk, folding her legs. Pushing a button under her desk, the door slid open. The dim light of the hallway revealed the figure of her guest. A slender girl, dressed in what seemed like leather pants and an army jacket. Typical Brujah, as if my night could not get any worse, Maria mused. The girl walked into her office confidently, scanning the surroundings with a quick glance around her. She stopped a few feet in front of Maria, looking up with a smirk playing around her lips. "Nice digs, princess. Did you just want to give me the grand tour, or did you have an actual reason to get me over here?" Maria ground her teeth in chagrin, trying to stop herself from retorting in a way she might regret. Unfolding her legs, she hopped off from the desk and seated herself in her chair. Without as much as a glance in the girl's direction, she motioned for her to take place in the chair on the opposite side. "Sit. Look, why don't you cut down to the chase, sweetheart? Can I get my citizenship or not? I'm not looking for a trip down memory lane." Noticing how her eyes started twitching at the girl's behavior, Maria realized the situation had just gone on from a mere nuisance to a real headache. "All right, Miss Ruys, let me cut to the chase. You are in my office, under my jurisdiction, undermining my authority, and that is something I do not take lightly to." Maria paused, leaning forward to face Helena. "So, now that we've gotten that out of the way, I would also like to remind you that you're requesting a prolonged stay in my territory. So I do believe it's in your best interests to cooperate me on anything I ask of you. Listen, I have my reasons for needing to be in this city, and I know about your rise to power over the last prince's corpse. Your sire, no less. What a scandal that would make, no?" Helena rolled her eyes before locking them with Maria's. "And yes, there is a gap, conveniently overlapping with yours, redacted by your lovely assistant." The Ventru just stared at her, dumbfounded. "Oh, you didn't know, did you? Really, I am just as confused at your ignorance, hon. But I guess even your most loyal followers keep secrets." Now it was Maria's turn to slam her fist down. "Enough. I don't know what kind of game you're playing, you disobedient bitch, but I will not be spoken to like this, so you better hold your tongue on this or—" "Make me," Helena said dryly. Excuse me?" Maria stammered. "Make me." It felt like a switch went on in Maria's head. No way she was going to let some street punk backtalk her like that, especially not in her own office. In the blink of an eye, the Ventru leaped over the desk, sending the both of them tumbling to the floor. Maria, having the element of surprise, straddled the young bewildered vampire, pressing her knees painfully on top of her thighs and holding her hands above her head in a vice-like grip. "Does this work, you little brat? Who the hell do you think you are, coming in here and treating me like some ignorant child? You are under my command now. I am the Prince of Amsterdam, and by walking through that door over there, talking back to me like that, you sealed your fate. If you are going to be a little bitch, I'll make damn sure to treat you like one." Using her own vitae to direct her powers, she looked Helena straight in the eyes and spoke one word: bound. She greatly enjoyed the shock on her victim's face as Helena's arms and legs moved together on their own accord, pressing together at the wrists and ankles, as if under a hypnotic suggestion. She let the girl lay there as she got up and walked to the other side of the room, her heels clicking on the marble with every step. The sound resonated through Helena's head, and a strange excitement spread through her. After a few moments, Maria returned to the center of the room, setting down a sturdy chair that she locked in place with a series of hidden clasps in the flooring. Without warning, she hoisted Helena up from her laying position and set her down in the chair. "I'm not going to interrogate you," Maria explained as she finished restraining the Brujah. "We are way past that point. I'm merely showing you what happens when you defy my princedom." Helena wiggled around anxiously, testing the limits of her bondage. She found that Maria was nothing if not diligent. After watching her squirm for a while, the prince went back to the side of the room and pressed a series of numbers on a pad. With a slight hiss, a panel slid open, revealing an impressive selection of whips and paddles. Maria trailed her fingers over a few of them before selecting a luxurious-looking riding crop. She walked back to stand in front of the girl and gave her a hungry look.